My very first race with FAST RMX had me racing towards the finish line in third place with my opponents close in front of me. I hit the boost and held my breath and hoped that I would have just enough energy to make it past them. Even though I only managed to overtake one of them, it was a thrilling finish and I knew right then that I loved this game. I've always been a big fan of playing racing games, even though I'm not that good at them. More than any other type of game, there's a feeling of excitement that comes from a close-fought race. That's what FAST RMX does best, provide thrills and excitement. I've never played a racing game that felt so fast. For those that aren't aware, FAST RMX is a sequel to Fast Racing Neo. The game is set in the 22nd century and you take control of anti-gravity cars and compete in races with 9 other vehicles. The game has 30 tracks to beat, split into 10 tournaments. There are 3 difficulty settings and 16 cars to unlock. With multiplayer racing too, there's a lot to keep you busy. During the races, you collect energy orbs on the track to use them to give your car a temporary boost. And there are also coloured speed boost lanes, and you need to switch your engine colour by pressing X to coordinate with the colour of the boost lane. Going over it with the right colour gives you a boost, while the wrong colour will cause you to slow down or crash. The combination of the speed and switching up your engine colour meant that concentration is required at all times. After finishing one of the races, I realised my hands were hurting from squeezing the Joy-Con so tightly and being so immersed in the game. I consider it a sign of a good game to have me so focused on what is happening on screen. What sets FAST RMX from other races is the feeling of speed. I'm not someone that can tell the difference between 30 frames per second and 60, but this game is clearly a step up from other racing games. At times I did feel it was uncontrollably fast, and reacting to twists in the road or colour changes for a speed boost was almost impossible on the first run of a new track, but that only made me more determined to learn the track and get better. The game looks amazing. Each track is set in a different environment, be it a desert, lush forest or a futuristic city at night. I don't think I could fully appreciate the environments because of the speed of the races, but it was obvious a lot of care and detail went into designing the levels and the cars. The tracks themselves were varied with shortcuts and alternate paths present on some of the tracks. The cars didn't feel that different to me. That may be down to the speed that you're travelling at, but I couldn't feel the difference between a car with higher top speed and one with lower top speed. The game has a mode called Hero Mode that challenges you to complete a race in first while having your shield tied to your boost gauge. The more you boost, the less shield you have in case you hit a wall. It added some nice variety to the game and a lot of challenge in trying to balance boosting with protection. This was pretty much the only variety the game had. FAST RMX doesn't have time trials or fastest lap events like other races, although the developers have stated this will be added in the next patch. As someone that was a big fan of the Wipeout games, the lack of modes was a shame. I would have loved to have seen weapons present in the game like in the Wipeout games to give racers more of a sense of danger, although I may be in the minority with that opinion. The multiplayer mode ran well. I had no issues in connecting to a match quickly. One annoyance was that you may join a lobby for a match in progress and you'll be forced to spectate until the next race starts. Twice I had to spectate races in progress where the racers were still on their first lap. It was a little annoying and I would have preferred the game to not join races unless they're closer to finishing. There's no way to join friends right now for a match, but again the developer said that will be addressed in a future patch. The soundtrack suited the game very well. I'm not a huge fan of electronic dance music, but it just worked with this game and added to the excitement of the races. The developers have stated the game uses the Joy-Con's HD rumble to give the feeling of speed and to give greater impact to crashes. I didn't really feel it added that much to the game and I found it distracting rather than immersing. Fortunately, it is easy to turn off the rumble on the Switch so I could just play the game and focus on the races. Overall, I really enjoyed FAST RMX. The lack of modes was not a major sticking point for me when the game is so good at what it does. The gorgeous levels and thrilling races make this a must-buy for racing fans with a Switch.